What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the other day I was streaming, and you guys brought up something really good in chat that really sparked a interesting topic that I wanted to go ahead and put together for a YouTube video. Again, if you guys are interested in any of my streams, we do it pretty much daily, besides Sundays, of course, over on Kick. Usually goes live around 12 to 1 p.m. Eastern time. By all means, you guys can find the link to that down in the description of this video. And I do want to mention this as well. If you guys do want to be notified for more videos just like this, we do post daily here at 8 in the morning Eastern as well. So, of course, subscribe and hit that bell. But the topic was, once again, how Warzone gets prioritized over everything within Call of Duty. Again, realistically, I thought it was because, it's Warzone, it's a battle royale. And Activision wants to follow the hype. They want to follow what is most popular. And honestly, that probably is still the reason behind it. But another thing was brought up, like I said in the chat, that really made me think a little bit about the topic, and that is the fact that obviously Warzone is free to play. And because it's free to play, that makes it more open and available for a larger audience. You don't have to go ahead and pay anything to get access to Warzone. And of course, if you do want to pay anything, you could do it afterwards in the store, which is probably, once again, why the microtransactions sell like hotcakes. It's a little off topic here, but let's be real here. Microtransactions outsell pretty much everything, even sometimes close to the game sales. You know what I'm saying? Microtransactions is the biggest thing for Call of Duty. And it's probably because of Warzone. If it was just strictly multiplayer, I guarantee the microtransactions wouldn't be as good as they are right now. But because Warzone is free to play and people don't feel as, disgusted with purchasing these expensive skins, people feel more obligated to spend cash when they don't have to buy access into a game. They'll be more obliged to spending $20 to $30 for a bundle compared to people like us who enjoy the multiplayer side of things. We paid $70 to $100 for the game. We don't feel as, obliged to go ahead and cough up $20+ for a bundle. Back to the main topic of the video, like I was saying. Since it's free, people are more open to go ahead and giving it a shot, which means that, yes, indeed, the player count will be drastically higher than something of like a full-priced game that you have with Call of Duty, like Modern Warfare 3 or any of the other main titles. Because if you really think about it, again, people, one, are sick of current-day Call of Duty, so they don't really want to purchase into it. But Warzone is Call of Duty. It has the same gameplay, the same mechanics, the same movement, the same gunfights. It's different, of course, because it's a battle royale, but Warzone allows you to get a Call of Duty experience without having to actually cough up $70 to $100. So more people are more than likely going to be opting into that because they're just sick of coughing up money and being disappointed, which again leads to Warzone being prioritized when it comes to updates, content, and just cool creative things compared to the multiplayer side of things. So this is what I want to bring up to you guys. And again, I'm not saying it'll be a great idea. I just want to spark a discussion and see what you all think about what I'm about to say here and how you would personally handle it. But what if they made, Call of Duty in general free to play? You know what I'm saying? What if every single premium title that drops is completely free and you don't have to cough up a single dollar? Now, yeah, it's rough because that means they're going to be insane microtransactions. The cost of the microtransactions are probably going to go through the roof. It's going to be even more live service methods than, we see right now. But it just makes me think, would we get more communication? Will we get a better product? And will we get more love within the game? Of course, I'm not saying that this would, do anything crazy. So don't come at my neck. I'm just trying to spark a discussion here. Would making Call of Duty bring more attention, especially from Activision, to multiplayer than, just only having a hyper-focus on Warzone? Making a premium Call of Duty title free to play would not only, improve the core Call of Duty community and, bring more people into the title, because regardless if it's a good or bad game, you don't have to pay anything to try it out. So, 1,010%, yes, the player count would go up just from, the core multiplayer lovers' perspective. But also from Warzone, because a lot of Warzone players will go to game modes like, the Plunder back in the day, but I'm guessing Resurgence now and stuff of that sorts to try to grind out weapons and get attachments without, once again, having to cough up $70 for a game that they might not even enjoy. So if multiplayer becomes free to play, that means Warzone players would actually go into multiplayer. And that means more people would be doing grinds, and it'll probably be a little less sweaty if you really think about it, It'll be a lot more people trying to get attachments for different guns and try to unlock camos and doing grinds compared to everybody just hopping on a multiplayer to sweat and prep themselves for ranked or just pub stomp and, just be pub stompers for the whole life cycle. I think it would add some variety to the mix. But besides the variety, once again, it would increase the player count, which would bring more eyes from Activision on to multiplayer, which would potentially give that game mode more love. Let's be real here. Everything that's free to play in Call of Duty gets the craziest, coolest stuff. Between Warzone and Call of Duty Mobile. And again, I know everybody's going to say, well, Call of Duty Mobile is a mobile game. So that's why it gets so much love. Everybody has a mobile device basically at this point. And, everybody has something that can run this game. So many people can go ahead and download it. It's free, so a lot more eyes on. Of course, they're going to go ahead and hyper-focus it. But besides it being a mobile game, it's free to play. And that is what I'm hyper-focusing here. Everything that's free to play gets the cool stuff. Both, Call of Duty, Warzone and mobile get some of the greatest events, some of the coolest makeovers to maps, some of the most awesome looking content, a lot of, throwbacks and classic cool things for mobile players. I feel like all the attention goes there, whereas when it comes to multiplayer, we always get shafted. I don't know. With Modern Warfare 3, I feel like, we did get a little bit more creativity, especially like with the Vortex event. They made over a decent amount of the Modern Warfare 2 maps, 2009 maps, of course. The holiday season, they revamped some of the maps, which was actually really cool. I loved High Rise. High Rise looked absolutely awesome with the winter makeover. But I feel like it's not as frequent. This doesn't happen every single year. This was a one-off year, and Sledgehammer's been doing pretty good. It's why I've been giving Sledgehammer a little bit more praise than I would typically give them. And, even when it comes to Warzone, like compare the Warzone winter event to the multiplayer winter event. Which one would you rather play? Which one is cooler? Which one is more detailed? I'm not saying the developers on the multiplayer side lack creativity and they don't know what they're doing. I'm just saying that it seems like their priorities are elsewhere. They're more, worried about focusing on polishing off bugs and fixing up the game and making sure the future content will hopefully launch decently and stuff of that sort, which is not wrong. Obviously I want that. We want the, content to be launched nicely and we want them to update stuff, make sure bugs are polished off. But they leave it at that. They leave it right there at that. And I think it's honestly a top dog problem, the Suits problem, because they want the majority of the focus to go over to the other games that are free. Whereas multiplayer, yes, you have planned content, but really all you have to do is just make sure you maintain it, make sure it's playable, make sure it doesn't die, and then you're good to go. Like, for example, compare the variety in Warzone over to multiplayer. The meta shifts between the weapons, the perk variety, the counterplay between the perks, the usability of the actual attachments. Everything is more detailed when it comes to Warzone. Everything is more fun, more interactive, where once again, like I said, in multiplayer, it's not bad. It's fun. Like I said, this is probably my favorite out of the past 5 Call of Duty games. But it stays at that. The game launches and that's it. Whereas I think a lot of the community now expects more, especially in the live service era, that we're in right now. We expect for the game to evolve over the course of the year, not stay in the exact same spot. You get what I'm saying here? They might have balanced out the weapons and they might have, fixed a lot of bugs. But when it comes to a shakeup, when it comes to counterplay, when it comes to, meaningful events that are, interesting, it's been kind of lacking. It's just like I said, they had the game polished off. They're trying to keep it alive. When I say alive, I'm not talking about having players, playing it. I'm talking about, the game not just crashing and destroying everything, causing a fire, even though I know some people are having problems. But honestly, it's still running for me, pretty nicely. But that's their main priority. And I'm not saying, all the events suck because, they have good camo events. But, like I said, compared to the detail in the Warzone events, you could tell that a lot of heart, soul, and passion goes into the events to make them very replayable. Whereas in multiplayer, a lot of the events are doing challenges or, getting XP for camos. Again, not bad. I'm not saying that's bad because I like it. I honestly like having XP events that give me a little incentive to hop back in and grind for some camos. I think that's phenomenal. I'm more so talking about the massive events, not the little events they throw in the mix. No, I'm talking about huge like Christmas events, holiday events. Warzone and Call of Duty Mobile get all the craziest stuff. Whereas multiplayer, again, we're just trucking along. They have pre-planned content that they're just making sure it's not, bugged or crapped on, and that's all they're going to push out. But guys, let me know what you guys think. Do you think making Call of Duty free to play would bring more attention to the multiplayer side of things, give more love, passion, soul, and, have Activision look at it in a different light compared to what they do now, because I just think it's too crazy that all their free-to-play things get the most wild content, but then, multiplayer always has, it's just a barrier that we just can't hop over. Again, I'm not saying the game is bad, but you could just tell the difference in quality when it comes to, where their focus is in the Call of Duty universe. But ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed today's video, leave a like. If you hated it, leave a dislike. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell. We post daily here at 8 in the morning Eastern time. And last but not least, if you are interested in any streams, I don't stream Sundays, but I do stream every single day, basically besides that day. So if you guys want to check it out, I have a link to that channel as well as all my other socials down in the description of this video. But as always, thank you for tuning in. I'll see you all on the next one. Peace out.